Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So as promised from my yesterday's video, I'm going to do these. We're going to try to do them in the UV resin. So I've pulled out my Light Wish glow in the dark UV resin. And this is 8 colors. And then I also just pulled out my regular colored UV resin from Let's Resin and my regular clear. So we have an array of stuff. I did charge my cordless light, and I also have my double-sided light. And I've got that to the side. So we can do one or two, put them underneath, and work on the others. And then I have this if I need to have it dry a little longer once I take them out. So I'm just trying to make some room here. All right. I think we are good. All right. So these are the caps and the bearings, which we will do after. So on this one here, and that's why I pulled out the orange and the dark yellow. So I am going to really give them a good shake because I feel like the color settles like to the bottom. So I'm just going to give them a good swirly, get that mixed up, and then I'm going to leave it upside down. And I'm going to do the same for this one. I probably should have done these all off camera and got them ready, but I didn't. You know, it's just one of those things. Okay, so I want this one to kind of resemble a sunset. So I'm just going to put a little around, and this doesn't even look like the color is mixed. Let me see if one of these little sticks, ooh, they will. All right, let me get some gloves because if doing this, I'm going to be getting sticky. I was like, oh, I don't need gloves. I'm not going to touch it. And then I'm like, yeah. Because it doesn't even look like it's not going to show. Yeah, so you can really feel like that. See how? Yeah. So, note to self, make sure that you really get something down in there and really mix this around, guys. And then I'm going to take a Q-tip and get that out. I haven't used these in so long. All right, let me do the same. Well, this one looks like it's somewhat colored, but we're gonna mix it anyways. Yeah, see, this one doesn't feel as thick at the bottom as the other one did. That yellow was really thick and goopy. Because that's where all your glow stuff is. So if we want them to glow good, we need to make sure that we have that resin all mixed in there. All right, let me give that a swirl again. it's so thick. I don't think by shaking it, it's, you know, it's like when you have a thick nail polish almost. All right, let me get some alcohol, and I'm just gonna kind of scoop this right out of there. Because it's clear, it is not gonna do anything. And then I'll use the other side, and we'll clean that up. There we go. And we will just start over. All right. Let me start again with this yellow. This time I'm gonna get some out. There we go. See how there was still some clear? So let's just gonna stand that up there, and I'm just gonna take my scribe and kind of fill that in. All right. And then I'm gonna do the little tiny sections. So I'm gonna just put like a drop in each one. And then we can spread it around. And then I'll clean up where I don't want it before I cure it. All right, so that one filled in pretty good. I'm just making sure that I have no bubbles. And it's so thin that it's not like you can, you know, use your long neck lighter even. It's just, it's too thin. And that one's going to need some more, so I'll add a little bit more to that one. Let me try to scoop some out of this one, because that had a little too much. So the ones that I did yesterday came out really, really good. We had no bubbles or anything, so I'm hopefully, you know, gonna get the same kind of results. And I do need just a smidge more. And so as you can see, I'm just like getting it out and then getting a little bit on the end of my little scribe here. Okay. I'm gonna leave that upside down in case we use it again. Like this one, you can feel it shaking, so I'm just going to get some in the the bigger Starburst. Now, I don't even know what I'm going to, like, back coat this in. This one looks like it's a little too full, but I can scoop some into another one here in a minute. Oh, you guys want to hear a good one? I was cleaning my glasses off today, and my lens popped out. And I'm like, oh, crap, did I just break my glasses? So, of course, I had to ask my son. I'm like, is the screw still there, or did I break them? Because I couldn't see them. He's like, no, the screw is still there. So I just, you know, the screw got unloosed or whatever. So I had to go find my old glasses in order for me to see the screw to fix my current glasses. I'm like, wow. You know you're getting old when. I was like, wow. My son's like, Ma, I could have done it because he's got perfect eyesight. I'm like, well, I had the screwdriver right in my hand, so I figured I'd just go for it. All right. So let's get this one curing. And let's see, I want to do the purple and pink. We don't have a dark blue. We have a sky blue. I guess we will use the green. All right, so this one I can feel it shaking, but I think just for time's sake, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to reach in there, and we're really going to stir that bottom up. Because some of these colors glow a little bit brighter than some of the other ones. And it's been so long since I've used them that I don't even remember which ones, you know. So I'm like, we will just, oh, this one's really thick like that yellow was. Oh, but look at that color, though. And I do have a discount code in the description for the Light Wish and for the Let's Resin. So if anybody wants to try any. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to squirt some out on a paper towel. See, this one's not bad at all. But you can definitely see that that color is like stuck at the bottom. Okay. I'm just going to cure that again while we do this one. Let's see. Pink, purple, green, pink, purple, green. All right, so I'm just gonna let me do the bigger sections in these colors. So we'll do pink, purple, green, pink. Hang on, I got something in here. There we go. And again, I'm going to put these upside down. So pink. Oh, I wanted to squirt them on a paper towel. There we go. Pink, purple, green, pink, purple. And then the green. Oops. All right, and then we will spread these out. Now I'm going very easy, trying not to scratch the bottom of my mold. I'm just trying to move the resin. I should find a different thing. Hang on, let me get this finished and then I will let me, while I was cleaning, I found my other tools, so I can get one that is not all grungy. All right. Trying to open these things with gloves on is brutal. All right, that's the one that I want. That way there, I don't have to stress that I'm gonna scratch my mold. And some of these might need a little bit more, but we will see. Yeah, see, like that one's pulling away. So we'll just put a little bit more in. And this purple looks and from what I remember, these cured really good. All right. This one here is still all right. So let's no, I might as well get it all colored and then we will put it in. So this is the purple. So I'm gonna do let's all right, let me just grab a little measuring cup and I'm gonna pour a little bit in there because I think it's just gonna make my life easier if I just drop it in. And all right, I gotta use the bottle for this bigger one. So we'll do the big thingy with the purple. All right, I guess I gotta do the next color before I can figure out so we'll do the green in the purple. So I'm just gonna put some of the green here and we will a hair or something. So so that's the green and the purple. So if I do the green with the pink and purple, all right, that should work. So I was hoping to be able to get 8 of these done, but because I'm doing them this way, I might only get the 4 done on this video, but you would get the gist. The other 2 are going to be fairly easy because they don't have a lot of like indentions and stuff like that. But I did want to try to fill, all right, so that's going to be pink, pink, and then pink and pink. And then I'll figure out, all right, because I got the 2 greens and then, okay. So I'll get the two pinks, and I'm just going to pour it on the side of the cup so I can get it into the little grooves. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let me try to zoom in a little bit more. The only thing, when I zoom in more and then I forget, then I'm out of frame. So if that happens, did I do that right? No. No, I screwed up. Hang on. I done screwed it up already. That was supposed to be green in here. So we're just gonna scoopy that out. See, that's the one good thing with UV, is if you do screw up, you can just take it out. All right. Just taking some alcohol so I can, you know, try to get the bulk of it out. Okay. That is because I switched my colors too quickly without finishing one. So this is the green that's got to go in there. Okay. Phew, crisis averted. And these are pink. These 2 are pink. Okay. I know it had something to do with pink and green. I just had my order mixed up. Yeah, so everybody has gone to bed, so I was like, well, I'm going to go and get a project done. because I thought I had another week before the Waterboro Old Home Days Festival, but that's coming this Saturday. So I'm like, I don't have that kind of time. All right. So if I did green, purple, pink, okay. We're going to do green, purple, oh, pink, and then green, purple, oops, and pink. Okay, so those are all done. And then I think I'm going to do the circle and the purple. And because that pot's going to probably be covered the most anyways. Because when we put the cap on it, now I don't even know what color I am going to, I think I'm going to top coat them with one of the Let's Resin regular resins. So that way, like at night when they spin, it's only going to be some of it that glows. All right. So we've got those all filled in. And let's put that. So let's pull out a dark blue. So I don't know, it'll be like the night sky. And hopefully we have enough. Okay. Hold that one upside down. And okay. Pop that under there. And let's mix up a glittery something for these. So where is, I love these Chameleon flakes, guys. So I'm just going to use one that I haven't used yet. Like this one. This one is Gold Olive. So I'm just going to pour some clear resin in here. And it's quite a bit because this is, you know, quite a big thing. I mean, look at how pretty that is. All right. Mix this scrumptious up. Scrumptious. Wow. Yep, you can tell it's late. I have no words. My words are not working, guys. Look at that. And I'm not really a like a gold person, but this is really pretty. So let me move this into frame. I'm trying to remember. And I'm not going to fill it all the way. I'm going to save a little bit of room for a clear coat on the top. So that way it will have that nice, smooth, glittery look on the backside as well. Okay, so we'll put this one in. This one is done. Let's see, what color do we make this one? Orange, brown, orchid. I'm afraid that would be too close to the purple. Orange. We've got red or dark cyan. I'm thinking dark cyan. Which is not very dark at all, but, or, wonder what would happen. Let's put a couple of drops of this in this, and we'll just stir it to give it a little bit more of a blue hue. And we will put that in. Okay, let's put this in. Come on. And that is cured. So let's take, I used a dark blue, right? Yeah. And we will just do one more layer of the dark blue, and hopefully now I didn't, because these are thick, that's why I did them in layers, because I didn't want them to warp and get all funky on me. That's the only thing with the UV resin. If you try to put it too thick at one time, it gets wonky. All right, and then the next layer we will fill it with clear. That one is done. So let's top this one off with some clear. So that's why I have my light off to the side, so that I can work on, you know, a couple of these at a time and not have to worry about these curing over here. So this is going to need a little bit more. I want it domed. All right, so that is looking good. Let me just make sure we've got no bubbles. And let me get my other one out. And this one here we will fill with all right, I'm gonna grab myself another bottle. So I just poke myself in the finger. My fingers are so split anyways, it doesn't really matter. All right, now we've got a nice fresh bottle. Once I've made these a few times, you know, then I'll know, like, what's going to look better on them. All right. Pop any bubbles. one's cured. And we'll just top this with a clear. It should pick that blue color up, even though it's clear, so. This one started warping a little bit. You can see it's lifted a little bit. I think I did it too thick. I'm still learning with the UV resin, guys. I don't do a lot with it. I do enough, but not enough on the thicker pieces. I like it for the little thin ones, but I mean, I suppose I could have did the glow in the dark and then cured that and then put the regular resin over it too. That would have been an option. But sometimes you just want to do a project and know it's all done when you go to bed, right? All right, so pop that one in. So let's get something in this one. What are we gonna do? Let's do a red, and we'll put some glitter, some red glitter in it. And hopefully it'll cure. We'll use my favorite garnet. This one here this one was from Michael's. So that is my favorite red glitter. So I'm gonna mix some of the red UV, and then I'm gonna put some clear and just thin it down, because we're gonna I want it to have some color with, you know, that red. You know, and it's still got to be transparent enough that the light can penetrate. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Guess I better stir it with something that's a little bit thicker. Okay. I'm gonna set this over here, because I probably will add some more. I'll try to do this one all the red glitter all the way through. Let's see. That's cured. That is cured. And that is cured. So I'm going to pour a little bit more in here. And then we will get these ones assembled. And then we're going to add a little bit more of the red. So we will have 2 that glow in the dark and then 2 that are just regular colors. Okay, so that looks good. Oh, as I stick my finger in it. I'm going to set that there. I'm just going to put that under just a little bit more. So let me move my bottles here. All right, so I'm dying to see what these are going to look like. And what they are going to look like in the dark. So everything came out good. And that's how you know that, you know, your resin is cured through if there's none left in your mold. And this one should just be a sparkly one. Just sparkly, sparkly. All right. Let's take a look. There is some, I don't know, there's like some weirdness on there. You see that? That means I'm going to have to top coat this. And I really didn't want to. Why did it do that? Oh, my word. All right, let's see this one. Now, this one came out kind of cool, except for the orange looks kind of brown. But it's going to, it'll tell when we get it to glow in the dark, which I will have to do in the final pictures, guys. Because everybody's asleep, and I do not have a light switch down here to shut my light off. I would have to run upstairs, shut it off, run downstairs in the dark, and then run back up. And frankly, I am just too dang lazy tonight to do that. So I'm just trying to clean off some of these little edges. I mean, there's not much. It's just kind of like what was up on the top of the all right. And then, of course, this one is gorgeous. And I think that one needs to cure a little bit more. Maybe that's what the issue is. I hadn't cured on both sides all the way. So let's finish filling this little guy up. Yeah, so note to self, next, I think the next ones, I might put like a thin layer of the UV and then do the regular resin. Because even though I did these in layers, this one here is still kind of wonky. And I don't know if it's going to affect the way it spins or not. All right. Go with that. So that one is cute. And that's the back. So let me get this one top coated and trimmed. I just realized that there is a little bit of overage. I didn't even see that I had overpoured that. I was trying to get it full. I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to make sure it was full. All right. Let's just give this a really thin top coat. And hopefully it doesn't run over and make a mess. I'm going to use my scribe on this time. That way I can get it in the little bit of grooves that are in there. So I am going to have to add a little bit more on this end, I can already tell. I am so curious to see how these are going to glow. And then I'll have to get some more around that middle too, but let's get the bulk of this done first. I'm trying to make sure I stay in frame for you guys. I might have enough, guys. Until I'm concentrating, I'm not talking. And I don't want to put too much around here because that's where the spinner thing goes, the bearing. And I want to make sure it's still going to spin. All right, so I'm trying to look at it sideways so I can tell if I got the whole thing. And it looks like I did. Oh, there's a hair. All right. And let's pop this out. And before I touch the front, I am going to pop it under there again to recure it. That one is all cured. But this one needs a top coat as well. So yeah, guys, don't do these in UV resin because they're just a pain in the butt because they are so thick. And I don't want to take my gloves off until I know I'm done with the resin so that I can put the barons in. I mean, it definitely makes that resin stand out way better with a top coat on it. That is for sure. But yeah, the ones that I did in the regular resin, they definitely came out way better. And we still can make them glow in the dark because I could just mix in some glow powder. And then I don't have to worry. I can make it as dark as I want it. So we will be using those as fillers on some upcoming videos. So you have not seen the last of the spinners, of the fidget spinners. Because I know as soon as my grandsons see these, even though they're not little kids, they're gonna want one or two. Okay, so that is looking good. Yeah, that looks so much better. So much better. And I still forgot my my deburring tool upstairs. It's sitting right on the counter, coming down the stairs. I just keep forgetting to grab it. So I'm gonna coat this one. Should I do that one too? I might as well. And then they'll all be top coated and look pretty. And then, oh, and then I know I can take my gloves off. Oh, wrong tool. I might have put a little too much on this one. sorry. Sorry if I was off frame. I like to zoom in so you can see, you know, what I'm doing, you know, especially for the newbies. But sometimes I forget, because I usually work close to my body, and when I'm zoomed in, I forget I have much smaller vision in my, you know, camera view. Okay, I'm gonna coat that. Yeah, that looks much better. Much, much better. Okay, so we're down to, we got one left. And this one does have a few little bubbles in it, so hopefully we don't get it going over. I'm just gonna try to do a thin, you know, just a thin coat. Like basically just enough to cover it. But now you got to fill in all the little grooves. And I might get a little over because there's a couple of little bubbles, so I'm trying to get it coated, but like not get a lot in where the little bubbles are. Just so that if they're gonna have the same shine on the front as the others, that's all. Just need just a smidge. Oh, come on. Just trying to get around that circle. Okay. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Okay, so I can take my gloves off. I'll move these aside. I'll probably do something with them tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna take my gloves off. Phew. Hands are sweating. All right. I'm just gonna get rid of all my sticky stuff. Gonna wipe those down. All right, let's get the spinners. These went together way easier than I thought they were gonna, guys. But where I did these in the UV resin now, I don't know. Especially after top coating them. That's what I was afraid of. Are you kidding me? Those of you that saw the video yesterday know that these went in without problems. Let me grab... I'm going to grab my mallet here. Wow. Let me do it on wood. Nope. Those bad boys are not going in, guys. No, they are not. Well, that's a bummer. And I don't feel like sanding them all down. I really don't. All right, I'm just going to zoom you back out so you can, oh, wrong way. And kind of just, so I'm just trying to shave some of that. No, sir. No, sirree. Well. Should I even put this video up? That is the million-dollar question. I mean, if I could get one to work, one even. And I need my ball bearing here. Nope. They just are not going to. And I think it's because they are warped. See how they warped a little bit? Even though I did them in layers, yeah. All right, let me think on this, and as much as I don't want to, I'm going to try and Dremel the center out. Like that one is close to going in. So yeah, let me figure out what I'm doing here, and then I will, I'll be back. Well, let me just try a different Baron. Maybe it's, nope. I didn't know if, you know, maybe a different Baron would fit. Like that one almost wants to go in. All right. Let me figure out what I'm going to do, and then I will be back, guys. Okay, guys. So I did have to take my Dremel. So now the little ball bearing fits. So I did the 3 off camera, and I'll show you how I did it on this one. So if you decide to do it and it doesn't work, you'll know how to fix it. So I've got my sanding bit on, and this one, it almost fits. See how it almost goes in there? So I'm going to turn my Dremel on. I'm going to go just a smidge more. And that should work. Now it works. Okay. So I will have to, you know, bring these up and give them a good wash. I ended up back coating the back, top coating the back as well, just so it has that nice finish on both sides. And I don't know what it is. Alcohol makes UV resin dull. It just makes it dull. So then you just take your little thing with the little nip on it, and then you find the other one with the hole, and then you put them together. So I'm not going to do all of these because I want to wash them and then I will assemble them. But guys, these glowed really, really well. So I will get you some final pics. I'll get these all together, I'll wash together, and then I'll get you some final pictures, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. Bye.